Hi everybody, today we're going to be making white cupcakes and decorating them for Valentine's Day. And my guests, musical guests today, are Bonny Jean MacDonald, accompanied by Mac Morin.
Grandma's Kitchen.
There's a fiddle tune and a wooden spoon while she's stirring and a-singing. There's friends leaving our family land, and then the phone's usually ringing. No matter who you are or what you've done, everything's forgiven.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God.
Grandma's Kitchen.
And ain't it good to be in Grandma's kitchen?
Grandma's Kitchen.
Hello everybody! Mary Janet here from Tunes and Wooden Spoons. Isn't that a great way to start? And that's the lovely Bonny Jean MacDonald, accompanied by Mac Morin, none other. And Bonny Jean, of course, is a cousin. Our great-grandfathers were brothers. Our great-great-grandfathers were brothers. We've got to figure that out, but it's, yeah, our properties adjoined, and way back in the 1800s when they came over here. So pretty special to have Bonny Jean today. And of course, her and our son Brennan were in the band Kilt many years ago. When was that? In the 90s?
Yeah, 96,
96, 97, whatever. Oh my God, they were such a good band. They were wonderful, and we loved them. So, and I posted a little clip there. You would have heard one of my favorite cuts was Bonny Jean playing Ashokan Farewell. So, welcome again. Thank you for joining in just for another week. A great week again here. Yeah, we have a little blanket of snow, and isn't that great? It is mid-February, and we haven't had a bad winter here. That's for darn sure. So, today we are making white cupcakes. Now, you will see on there that I posted the recipe, and the recipe will make about 12 cupcakes. This recipe comes from my recipe for delicious white cake, and that recipe makes a 3-tiered white cake, and it's a really nice recipe. But I've split the recipe so that we just can make a dozen cupcakes, especially for Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to you and your sweethearts. And you can find the whole recipe, of course, on my website, www.tunesandwoodenspoons.com. You'll be able to see the whole recipe there, and also posted with it is the half recipe for if you just want to make a dozen cupcakes. So I'm going to get started. We're going to set your oven to 350, and I'm just going to go here and wash my hands, and I will be right back. We go. 415 people tuning in. Thank you all. Gosh, that's wonderful. Hi, Arlene. Hello, Louise. Lots of great people joining us today. So I've set my oven to 350. And I have a couple of muffin tins here because sometimes you just want to fill the muffin cups up about 3/4 of the way. So there might be a couple of extra there, you'll see. And I'm using, your little muffin cups here, okay? So I'm going to turn the camera down, and I might have not mentioned that you do need an electric beater. It would be best if you had an electric beater, and if not, you should have lots of elbow grease and mix, because that's what we had before we had electric beaters. And I do have one of those newfangled nice mixers in a stand that I bought in the fall just for a present for me, and I have used it. But I like to, as I said before, I like to make it with as little new gadgets as possible so that everybody feels that they have what they need to bake. And it's pretty easy. So I just have my little beater here. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see my bowl, and we will get started. So hope you turned your oven on. Thank you, Lisa, for happy Valentine's Day, and for your card. Thank you. Got it. All righty. There you go. Okay, we're going to start with a 1/2 cup of soft salted butter, and mine is already here, and we'll put that in there. That's just been at room temperature. That's all you need. And you're going to need a 1/4 cup of shortening. And if you're not a shortening gal, or there's no shortening where you are, because I know there's people in a couple of other countries that didn't know what shortening was. So just use butter. Just use a 3/4 cup of butter. And I am going to mix that up with my electric beater. And into that, I'm going to add 1½ cups of white sugar, a little bit at a time, and 2 eggs and a tablespoon of water. But I'm going to make this nice and blend it first. Well, sounds like this thing is dying or the plug is coming out. I'm not sure, but anyway, we've got that mixed. Mr. Mac is on hand in case I need a handyman. And so right now I'm going to add 1½ cups of white sugar. Okay. Now I'm just going to check the connection on this. Just a little nervous. Matt, can you check the gray on the other end that it's plugged in all the way? I think it is, the little extension cord there. Okay, then another 1/2 cup. The last 1/2 cup. And now we're going to add our eggs one at a time. And I already put a tablespoon of water, according to the recipe, in there. So I'm going to add 1 egg. Just until it's nicely mixed in. And then the last egg. people. Got to get this. We'll beat that up a little later when we're adding our dry ingredients. I'll just give that a good mix. All right. So we're going to set that aside and we're going to get our dry ingredients ready. So in here, we're going to put 1.5 cups of flour. One. And a half. I'm just going to tell you something here while I'm thinking of it when I'm putting the flour in there. Now, I'm using half the recipe, and I see there was a question there that I missed, but I know what they were talking about. The full recipe requires 5 eggs and 1 egg at a time as you're mixing it in, if we were to make the whole recipe. So when you're halving a recipe, it's hard to have 2.5 eggs, right? So what I did was I added 2 eggs and I used a tablespoon of water to replace that half an egg, and that'll be fine. So just so you know. But here we have the 1.5 cups of flour. Now, sometimes a cake texture and cake recipes will ask for cake flour. You can make your own cake flour if you want. And basically, for every cup of flour, remove 2 tablespoons of flour and replace it with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and mix it up well. So you can figure out that if you were into that and wanted to make it into cake flour, that's how you make it. That's the answer to that, just in case. I'm just going to use plain old all-purpose flour. And I think what the cake flour does, because a friend of mine, Tara Landry, did many cakes and decorated cakes and all of that stuff. I think it gives you a finer crumb in the finished product if you're using cake flour, and you can certainly do that if you're making your cupcakes and you want to try that. You do that. But for me, I'm using 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. What is the reason for the water and the eggs? It's to make up for the half an egg, for the half of the recipe. I see somebody maybe didn't hear what I said there. So, hold on. All right, so in here I have 1.5 cups of flour, and to that we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And just mix that up. Now, in bowl number 3, I probably should have done this first, but it's not going to spoil on it really bad. I don't have any buttermilk, and the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of buttermilk, but I bet you there's lots of you out there that don't have buttermilk either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1/2 cup of milk in here, and I'm going to replace it with a little bit of vinegar to make it more sour like buttermilk. And really you're supposed to let it sit for a little bit. Now I think it's 1/2 tablespoon. 1/2 tablespoon of either vinegar or lemon juice you can add to your 1/2 cup milk. So I'm gonna put my milk in here. Should have got this ready beforehand. Please God, I don't spill any. So I'm going to just eyeball that and a half a tablespoon and just stir it around. And that will sour the milk a little bit. We're just going to leave that for a second or two. And I'll just check on you guys to give it a chance. Usually let it sit for about 5 minutes. And I should have done that first when I was doing the dry ingredients. Love to see where everybody is from. Yeah, me too. After the show, I do that. I sit down and I look at the opening comments and see where everybody's checking in from. And it's so nice. Yeah. Lots of people watching today. Lots of people. 548 right now. Thank you all so much today. It's Valentine's Day, Darlene. I know it. I know it. Hi, Anne. That's my friend from Campbell River in BC. Is there a buttercream recipe with this recipe? Yes, there's a buttercream frosting at the it's posted. You should see that. Hi, Donna Skull. I missed her message though. She's a regular. And hello from Chris Pam Sis. Lots of wonderful people. Thank you for joining in. I know it's going to be a great day, isn't it? With all of that great music. I had something I was going to tell you there. While that's sitting, I'm just going to talk to you just a second about, while we're waiting for that to kind of take effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of Marjorie Simmons, but she lives in Richmond County, and she was married to the late, great Silverdale Cameron, and he wrote that book. He had the manuscript already just shortly before he passed away last year, and he finished the manuscript for Blood in the Water, and I'm reading it now. And that is the sad story and the tragedy in Richmond County on the water, where the lobster fishermen and the body was never found of the guy who was apparently murdered. And but it's the true story of what happened. I'm told that Silverdale had great sources for his book, and he writes it from both sides. And if you're into reading books like that are nonfiction, this is the book, Blood in the Water. And if you are local and interested in purchasing that book, you can get it at the Fleur de Lis restaurant in Port Hawkesbury. They sell it. And I'll tell on Isle Madame, they sell it as well. It is also available for download from any bookstore online. Silverdale Cameron had many books, and this one in particular is a big seller, and it's just one of those books. It just catches you right in your heart for both sides. So anyway, if you're interested in that kind of a true story journal of what took place, it's a great book. It's a great book. Okay, I think that's great. I'm going to get my bowl back here off my butter and sugar and all of that. And here is my wet ingredients, my milk. And into that milk, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm going to turn this down again. Oh, you got the spoon stealer? It is a great story. Yeah. Hi from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Oh my gosh, hello. I better stop reading. Start doing. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, today I am going to measure my vanilla, and I'm almost out of my vanilla, and I've sent a panic message to my Watkins lady in Malibu, Josephine Carlton McCackern. Thank you. She'll be delivering it soon. I look forward to it. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that up. So we'll be adding the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients a little bit at a time. And we're We're going to start with a little bit of the dry ingredients. Okay. And I know last week, I'm just going to mention it here. I know last week, and maybe you guys are all thinking of this too, but I never think of it. There was somebody disappointed that I was wearing my rings while I baked. But you know what? 50 years, I'm not taking it off this year. And I'm baking for my family. And if I was baking for a bakery, well, I wouldn't be wearing rings, I guess. But for me, I won't be taking my rings off anytime soon. And hope all of you don't mind that. So right now, let's add some flour. And I'm going to mix some flour and then a little bit of the wet ingredients back and forth until I'll end with the dry ingredients, okay? I think I'll use my half-cup measure to kind of start it off. Okay. I'm just going to add the rest of the milk there. I'm just going to take some of the sides down, make sure that it's all incorporated. And now I'm going to put it on high for about a minute. And there you have it, people. That is your batter for the cupcakes. Okay. Hello. All right. I just want to say a couple of things. So many of you are talking about my blue bowl, and I've been using it since forever. And of course, it's Tupperware, and it's probably 30 years old. I don't know. I have two of them. I had the first one that I had when I got married. I still have it, but it's so full of scars from things that I never use it on the show. But this one has managed to stay kind of intact. And last week, I had told you about the Tupperware bowl. The retro bowl is back on Tupperware and was on a really amazing special for $20. and told you can order from your Tupperware consultant, or you can order from Tupperware Canada on your own, or I gave you the choice. You could order from my Tupperware gal, Natasha Phillips, formerly Rankin, another cousin, in Mabu. Well, guess what, folks? You guys ordered more than 90 bowls from her. I cannot believe that, and I'm just so happy because she, like she was telling me, she said, I cannot thank you enough. My husband is off work right now because he broke his wrist or something, and he's a carpenter and self-employed. And, you know, you guys just make a difference. So thank you for doing that for Natasha. She was so overwhelmed and so happy, and I'm so pleased. So thank you. I just want to say that. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, just reading some message about another kind of a bowl. Donna. She never took her rings off either. See, there you go. All right, now we're going to put them in the muffin tin. I have to stop reading. I love reading your messages, but I have to stop. And just hold on a second. Okay. So, I'm just going to see what 12 does. I made them this week, but I made the full recipe, so those cupcakes coming out of my ears here. We were giving them away. And Cecil is in the living room and says, I don't like cupcakes. And he doesn't. He's more of a muffin man. All right. So we're going to fill these 3/4 full. But I also want to tell you at this time, if you're feeling brave and you're not making them with me right now, but you'd like to make them this week or whatever. If you remember back in the fall, like around October when we were doing pumpkin things and carrot things for the fall, I made those carrot muffins, and there was cream cheese in the middle that you put in the middle, and there's such a great muffin. You could do the same with this batter. You could mix up that cream cheese mixture, find the recipe on my website, and you could, fill the muffin cups like half full, put about a tablespoon of the cream cheese mixture in there, and then put more batter in. And the only thing that happens when you make the cupcakes like that, you won't get, much of a mound. You actually might sink in the middle, but that doesn't mean that it's not cooked. It just means that the cream cheese is in the middle, and it's going to sink down a little bit, so don't let that scare you. But it would just be a nice little change if you're interested. Yes, he does like the carrot and cream cheese muffins. Somebody said, I bet you Cecil likes them. Actually, yes, lemon curd. We were just talking about lemon curd, Anne, just before the show started. I'm going to be making lemon curd on April the 11th because Leslie Crow is going to be here. Okay, I didn't tell you that, but yes, she is. Hold on. Okay. All right. This is a by guess or by gosh. I'll go back and see. I used different muffin liners this week when I was making them. These really pretty red ones, but they were very high, and I just didn't know how they would turn out. But they were filled too full, and they when that happens, they don't. It doesn't raise as nicely as you'd want. I'm going to be going back and putting a little more in some of these. We went out for Valentine's Day supper last night. It was a delicious meal, and we went to the Mabu River Inn, made a reservation. It was a delicious, delicious supper. I had chicken parmesan. Cecil had a really well-dressed burger dinner, and darn it all, it was too full for dessert. So anyway, it's a great young fellow there, Beaton, young man. I don't know his first name, gosh. Bonny Jean, do you know his first name? The chef. He would be Bernie and Bernadette's son. Charles? Oh, he's just a great young fella. Getting married this August. But he came to our table. Oh, he was just a darling. So anybody out there who doesn't have a restaurant to go to locally, you can go there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and just get a great meal. And sometimes on Thursday they have corned beef and cabbage, and I know there's a lot of lovers of corned beef and cabbage out there. Okay, I think that that's just kind of plenty full, so I'm going to have a few extra. Not sure how many more. It was so nice to go out, and tables are nicely well spaced out, and you know, it was just a treat. Okay. You know how you really want to, you forget that you're doing this in front of people, but you kind of really want to lick your fingers when you're doing batter like this. I won't do that on live on air. There now. I'd also like to say hello, because I got a message before I started from a gentleman in Newfoundland, and, you know, they were talking about their situation. You know, Newfoundland was doing so good COVID-wise, and he was talking about how worrisome that was. And I'm with you guys. Just stay safe, and I hope you're all okay over there and following the protocols. Okay, here we go. There we go. Too full for dessert, I know. Okay, so we have 17. Who knew they'd make that many? So I'm going to pop them in the oven, and I'm going to check at the 20-minute mark with my cake tester and see how they're doing at 20 minutes. But I think I said 25 minutes. What did I say? I said 30 minutes for cake and 25 minutes for cupcakes. So test 5 minutes early. Yeah, so I'm going to put it in for 20 minutes and I'll see how they're doing. But in the meantime, as soon as I put them in the oven, I'm going to introduce you to our guests. And Cecil is keeping them company down there. Hi, Tina, formerly from Mabu. I see you on there. Okay, hold on a second. All right, now I have to do the noisy thing. Hi, Mary Janet. Lisa Price Story, how are you doing? I have to do the noisy part of letting these legs down on this tripod. I apologize. And then I have to lock them in place. So. I'll get there and you can watch my ceiling for me. Okay. Where are you? One more leg to go.
Have you ever had an accident where the legs weren't stuck in all the way? You know what I mean? They were
Yes, I've done that.
live on air.
Live on air. It's been fun. They're a great crew. They're very forgiving. Okay. Maybe I'll be rich someday and I can have a cameraman if we do this. Okay. It was a half a cup of milk and with a half a tablespoon of vinegar in it to make it kind of like buttermilk and to let it sit 5 minutes. And, or a half a cup of buttermilk would be even ideal. I love seeing you too. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, here we have some company. Well, too bad about you, Cecil. Let's see. All right. There. So, this is my treat. This is my Sunday treat for me too. And we have the lovely Bonny Jean MacDonald. Hope you can see her. And you've heard her play Ashokan for a while if you listen to that and watch that little clip or that I posted earlier on my page and on Tunes and Wooden Spoons. And Bonny Jean is from Mabu. She's a Mabu girl. And this, of course, is Mac Morin returning. So happy to have him here as well. So I'm going to let them take it away and play some good tunes for you. And we'll be back in a few minutes. I'll be back in a few minutes to have a little chat. And what were you saying on there? I missed you, whatever you said. Welcome, Bonny and Mac. And I asked Mac, I'm always spelling Bonny Jean's name wrong. So it's Bonny. And Anne-Marie MacArthur Barry saying, woohoo, she can't wait. All right, I'll let you guys.
You tell us when to.
You go right ahead right now and let her rip.
Oh, Bonnie. Cry her.
That was pretty nice, wasn't it? Are you all dancing in your kitchens out there? Woohoo! That's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? So I have to ask Bonny Jean, when she was young, and I seem to remember this story. Did you get your first fiddle from a ticket draw?
Oh, you know what? I was playing before I did get this fiddle.
Were
I
you?
did- yeah. I
Was that the fiddle?
This is 101, yes.
Who
The,
put the fiddle out on tickets?
The Fiddlers Association used to always have a ticket draw, or a ticket draw every year at the concert, you know, the 2-day concert they had.
Speak louder, maybe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, mumbles. And this year, Marcel and Chess on in Port Hawkesbury, we were up playing tunes and he was selling tickets and we got one.
Imagine.
Or two, I'm not sure what I got. But anyway, yes.
Isn't that
Yes,
something?
Yeah,
And so was it a brand new fiddle?
it was.
It was a brand new fiddle.
Oh gosh, isn't that awful? I can't even remember the story behind it. It's a Hofner, and I think they used to purchase them. And then the year after I won it, they started getting homemade fiddles from somebody
Here,
more
local in Cape Breton?
I can't think
Not the Otis. So
maybe,
Otis?
maybe it was Otis. I was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Amazing. No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So
But
it's
so
so
you
weird.
were taking lessons, was that with Stan Chapman in Antigonish? There was a whole crew that used to go over to Antigonish to, God bless Stan Chapman, who was just an amazing teacher, and he taught like so many.
Oh yeah,
You
it was
know,
crazy.
who was taking lessons? Ashley and Natalie and Wendy,
Maddie Rankin.
Maddie Rankin. I mean, these are all people who have made such a name for themselves in the fiddling world. And yourself,
Dawn.
and Dawn Beaton, my niece, yeah. A lot of great, you know, just to think that there's one man responsible for all of that. And
Oh, crazy.
you know, and everybody had music in them anyway. All of those people mentioned there's the music was in the blood. But when you have a good teacher, he can make you rock no matter what. So it's pretty awesome. But Bonny Jean, then you went on just to play in concerts with locally and whatever until you got involved with your cousin Brennan, and they were in the band Kilt. This was their second CD, was it? And it's no longer available. It's way old, but
My boxes in the basement.
and you still have boxes of CDs in the basement. Well, you might be able to sell a few. 4 in the crib, and I remember that. Oh my God, we used to go wherever they were playing. They traveled all over Canada. And did you go into the U.S. too?
Yes.
And they were in the U.S. and it was just such a wonderful time. And then guess what? They all fell in love and got married and had to get real jobs.
Honest to God.
And that's what happens. Bonny Jean is a registered massage therapist, and she's married now with 2 little darling, beautiful boys, and that's a good life, isn't it?
It is.
It is. So, Bonny Jean, there's probably about another 5 minutes left. I'll leave you alone. I won't put her on the spot. She doesn't like talking and chatting. And Mac, we talked about Mac the last time. And but don't worry, we may have a little chat a little later. And Paula McCann Henke, I am so glad I bought one. They were talking about the bowls. I thought you were talking about the CD. Where in the world did you get that? But anyway, so how about another little blast of tunes, and then when we come back, we'll put Mac on the spot, maybe.
Good.
Would that be a good idea?
Good to me.
I have nothing good to say.
Ah, Mac, you're one of the best. Look there, I want to buy a Kilt CD. Missed it. It was just up there.
You're gonna have to put them up. You have to dig them out of that
Jigs.
basement.
Tara Beaton wants Jigs. Now, who's Tara Beaton? Tara Beaton is, oh my God, Janelle's sister, Jessie, her daughter. Yes. And she's a great follower. And loved Kilt, and they still have posters. And somebody else wants a Kilt CD too. Maybe there's a little money to be made.
Lots of tapes.
No CDs?
No, we have CDs. Brandon has a bunch of.
Brandon does too. Okay, well, enjoy the music.
Oh my God.
Everybody.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Oh, lots of old goody tunes in there, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I checked my cupcakes at 20 minutes and I turned the pans around. So I put them in for another 5 minutes and that's just about up. So I'm going to take you into the kitchen right now and give these fellas a little break. We'll get back to Mac after and putting them on the spot. But we're going to, while the cupcakes are cooling, I'm going to make the frosting. And like I already said, I am not a decorator. So it's going to be whatever I can do with my little cake decorator and the little things that I have made to go with it. So we'll chat about that in a minute. So the 5 minutes is just about up. And I'm going to take them over here to the counter actually and show you the finished product. So that's the little pan. And the dozen. They look just right with just a tiny little mound on the top, which is what we like. But, okay. So this is going to be a challenge. I'm going to turn my oven off. Okay, people, I am going to try to see if I can just let this stand on the floor and turn it down. Okay. Be quiet for a minute here. I'll actually talk to you here for a second. Glory be. I would love to have a cameraman. Okay, there, that's better. So today I did a couple of little things. You guys, I hope you have stuff that you're using to decorate with. For example, you know how you can get these little things you could just sprinkle on your frosting if you like. I have that. I have my little box of food coloring. I'm going to just be making a little, leaving the white frosting white, and I'm going to put a little pink just for Valentine's Day. I have one of these things. This is from Pampered Chef, but if I can show it up close, I don't know if you can see it. It's just got the one little hole at the bottom, you know, that for which you can, if you just have a nice strong Ziploc baggie and just cut a teeny tiny hole at the bottom, just the way you would to drizzle from the bag, that's fine. Or if you have a decorator that has that tip, just the little hole, that would be fine. This is what I used just to write the word love and hugs and make an X and an O and to make a Valentine with the melted chocolate. So if you have something like that, and you don't have to, you just can do what you want to do. And the other thing that I did today, I threw together, you know, the melting wafers, chocolate wafers that you get at Bulk Barn. Well, I was in Halifax there a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and I got those melting wafers, like they're huge, similar to chocolate chips or whatever, but they're called melting wafers, and they come in milk chocolate and dark chocolate, and they come in white chocolate. And for Valentine's Day, they had, I guess you'd call them red, but they're more pink than red, but they're really just white chocolate that has been colored, right? So I today took some of the melting wafers, the chocolate ones, and I bought this at Superstore in Antigonish, just a little heart mold, and I melted some of the chocolate wafers. Oh, probably maybe half a cup or a little bit more. And then I put in it these Score Bar pieces that you get, like where the chocolate chips are, the Score Bar bits. and I put some of that in there. So I'll use these as a decoration on some of the cupcakes today because they're little hearts and they're easy to pop out. I hope. I'm going to pray that they'll pop out. And then I'm going to, I wasn't going to make any more of the pink hearts and stuff like that, but just in case there's somebody out there that wants to do that, I'll melt that a little bit and show you. I'll put the camera down now so you can see this. So this is the little silicone mold. Oh, yeah. They're popping right out like fun. This would have been good to have at Christmas time. Okay, so these little chocolate candy we can stick in the top and be nice and edible. They look so cute. Look at that. We'll decorate some of our cupcakes with that. And the wafers. So this is all I did. I had never done that before. So I melted these wafers. Might take a minute and a half to get them it nice and soft so that I can fill this. And I have some parchment paper just on a flat board. And I'll show you what I did. Okay. Just be patient now. And I am going to throw this in the microwave. I am going to put it in the microwave for about a minute, and I'm going to put it on half power and see how soft it gets. So you'll just have to wait for me to come back, and I'll be right with you. So I know you can do it in little bursts of 10 or 15 minutes. I don't have the patience for that. So I put it in for a minute. So I choose 1 minute and then I hit my power button and I hit the number 5, which puts it on at half power instead of just full power. Because if you try to melt chocolate at full power for that length of time, it will cook the chocolate and it won't be nice and soft. Or better still, you want to put it in the top of your double boiler. That'll melt really nicely too. You can talk amongst yourselves. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So, okay, that's just about up. I'm going to go and give it a stir and see if it needs about another 30 seconds or so, and I'll be right back. So that's not even close to being ready. That's all right. So for the frosting, you're going to need 1 cup of nice soft butter or basil, whatever you want to use. 1 cup. And you're going to need 3.5 cups, I think, of icing sugar. Yeah. And then 5 tablespoons of cream, whatever you have, whipping cream or coffee cream. I stole some of Cecil's coffee cream. I'm going to put 5 tablespoons in. And some vanilla. Now, how many pairs of glasses do I have? Oh my God. Every time I go anywhere where they have eyeglasses and I say, oh, I like those. I like these. These are nice and green. Yeah. I love my glasses. Hold on a second. So that took a whole other minute. And see, it's nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to put it in this little... Hi from Bonavista. Hi, Alva. From the Rock. Okay. Okay. Can you see this? Get you down a little bit more. So you don't have to have the pink chocolate. You could have white chocolate. You could have the regular chocolate, whatever suits your fancy. So I'm just going to take this out of there. And it comes with this little holder. And I'm just going to spoon that into it. Okay, I'll put more of that in later. So filled almost full. Oh God, say a prayer. So basically all I did was start pushing the plunger down, and not a very good effort for my first heart, but you can just fix that with a little more and make it straight. Like that. And I think I made the word hugs there. Anyway, those little pieces will just, once they're hard, and this maybe takes 5 minutes in the fridge, and it'll be set. Okay, that's all I'm going to do, just to give you an idea. I'll give you the ones that I have ready. So basically, I just did a few little hearts like that. And it's just a nice little fun thing. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the fridge so that it can set. And we're going to make our frosting, okay? No, can't do that. All right, so in here I have 1 cup of butter. And I've cleaned my beaters, and I'm going to beat that up. And we're going to have 3½ cups of icing sugar. I'm actually going to spoon it in to this because the dish is too small to fit this in. Okay. I'm going to put them all in at the same time. Two. So that's about 3 and 3½ . And a tablespoon of vanilla. Now, you could use, if you have the clear vanilla, you could use that, which I do have, but I didn't take it out of the cupboard. And 5 tablespoons of heavy cream or milk, whatever you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you'll probably see a bunch of icing sugar fly all over the place. But now I'm going to beat it. And there's your buttercream frosting. There you go. Can you see all that? Looks so good. If you want it even stiffer than that, you can, just use 4 tablespoons. That's fine. I'm going to put some in another bowl. And I'm going to add a little red food coloring, which will make it pink. Hope you can see that. Well, I suppose I put about 8 drops in there. Gosh, all the homemade cakes I made for the kids for their birthdays. Just shaping them into, the favorite one was the bunny one, where you made the 2 round cakes, and out of one was the face, and the other, you cut the 2 ears off both sides, and then what was left was the bow tie. I made a gazillion of them back in the day. All right. That's looking pretty fine. Okay, I'm just going to check on the cupcakes here, see what temperature they're at. They're actually fine to decorate now. They're not cold, but they're just slightly warm. Okay, people, what do you think? Don't they look good? They really smell good. All right, back to the table. And this is my old Pampered Chef decorator. And you know what? I think it's seeing its final days. But they still have it for sale. And I'm going to order another one, I think. So Tammy, if you're listening, it's on my to-do list. I got to clean that mess. It's driving me crazy. Okay. There we go. Now, when you go to the bulk barn, some of them have a little paper that gives you all the information about how to melt it and all of that. I just keep it right in the container that I put it in when I come home so that I don't make a mistake. All right. This is very awkward when I don't have that thing on the table. All right. So what I did, I put some pink on one side and some white on the other. So I'm going to do the white first. And then maybe they'll come out together on the bottom. We'll see. And if you have one of those bags for decorating, do the same thing. I'm only going to do a couple of cupcakes just to show you. And then back to the important stuff, the music. And I'm going to do, can you see that? Not very well. Okay, sorry people. Okay, and I'll put some pink on the other side. It doesn't matter if they kind of get mixed in. And then I'm going to do this. And just start plunging it until it starts to come out. Mostly white coming right now. And I'll bring some of my cupcakes over here. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. It's a good idea just to put a little white frosting all over first so that you've got white frosting right to the end. Just a little bit. Okay. So now, are you seeing that? No, you're not. Okay, there you go. A little bit of pink there. Oh, that looks cute. So, I'll continue doing the others. But I'll just put these two on here for now. For Mac and Bonny Jean, which I'll give them shortly. And on there, I'm going to put a little heart. Try not to put your thumbprint on these chocolates. Leave them shiny. And we also have a nice pink heart. Oh no, I broke it. Okay, here's one. A little heart. And a little heart. And maybe a little sprinkle. Oh, they're so cute. What do you think, people? Isn't that cute? All right, so we're going to move back to the living room. I'll continue to decorate the others, and I'll show you the plate when we're done. But for now, there's Cecil moving into the kitchen. He'll get the kettle on and make us some tea. And we're back here. And there's Mr. Mac. And I'll turn this down. So Mac, how are the lessons going that you're teaching?
They're going great.
Online again?
Yeah. Yep. another year probably.
You know,
Things are going.
we were talking earlier. Let me put this down a little bit.
I need a haircut. I'm just saying now. You don't look at yourself in the mirror too much anymore because you don't have to get ready to go out anywhere. I'm just seeing myself. Time for me to get to the barber. Little shaggy here.
You know, we were talking before the show. We had a great little visit. Oh, for God's sakes, Mary Janet, get that right. There, we can sit up. There we go. But you know, a year ago, it was a different world. And just this morning, before I went to church, I went to my grandson's hockey game at 9 a.m. for about an hour, and I was sitting in the stands with Mitchell and his wife Laura, and with the other two little fellas. And Ivor, you know, as you know, turned 6 last week, and he was sitting with us, and he was eating something, so he didn't have his mask on. And a little buddy of his hollered to him from down on the floor and said, "Come here, Ivor." And Ivor made a run and went over, and he came back and he said, "Oh, I forgot my mask." And he put his mask on. Like a year ago, that we would have never had to think about doing that, and a 6-year-old wouldn't even have the conscience to even manage something like that or imagine something like that. So our world has changed so much. So anyway, I'm glad we're safe here in Nova Scotia. We're doing well, so we hope that it'll stay like that, but nothing is for sure anymore. So you guys, you're just full of business and full of music, and you're ready to give it another go? Sure. And Cecil's making the tea.
Good boy, Cecil.
And I'm going to go back and decorate some more of them, and by then the little hugs one that I made will be all ready, and we'll add that. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the music.
Go for it. Bye. Yes.
There's the tambourine.
There was a little percussion off camera there.
Oh, the wine glass.
The wine glasses, yeah. They say, don't forget us for Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow, Mary Janet. Wow.
Aren't they cute?
That's amazing.
So nice. Okay, I want to show you. So the little one that I said hugs. Can you see the hugs? Hugs. I mean, pretty. They're not perfect. I don't know if you can see them backwards or what there, but they're there and they're so cute. I hope there's some little ones out there that are baking today. Because, I mean, really, it's pretty simple. So, the tea is on. Not quite ready yet.
All good.
How about another little blast, and then we'll say goodbye, and then we're not having strupak with you. I'll have a little strupak of tea with you in a moment, but if you guys will take it away for another little bit, and
Put this little kilt thing here so everybody can see it. In case they're wondering. Sure, yeah. Anything else?
there we go. I'll put that over there for
Oh,
you,
thank
Mac.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take
You
it
can-
away there, Bonnie. You're doing just beautiful.
Good stuff, Bonnie.
There now. You got your tea and your cupcake.
Yes.
And I'm going to take you over here with me. You're welcome. Thank you. And we'll get them to play a leaving tune in a few seconds. I'm just going to talk to you for a few seconds. Great treat of music today. Thank you, Bonnie and Mac. So there we go. So here's mine, my little heart. And I gave the hugs one to Bonnie. And I'm going to have a little, now I mentioned before we're going to have a little strupak. I don't know, what does strupak mean? A little bit of tea? That's what, I don't know, have a strupak, a little piece of tea. And that was a little Gaelic word, but I'm not sure what it means. But, I'm just taking the wrapper off this. And I'm going to bite into it. But it's a really nice cake recipe. I'm going to eat my heart. And the little heart. Those are so good. Tiny little chocolate. And I'm having my Marjorie cup in memory of my good friend Marjorie. So I have to have a bite. Dolores Carroll McCostick said, her husband John, who knows his Gaelic, he's firmly from Judic, said that was right, what I said. It's a little bit of tea. So there we go. It's just such a nice recipe. Thank you, Donna. Hi, Donna Park. That's Cecil's niece, and she lives in Fort McMurray, and she's watching today. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna have one more bite and then a sip of tea. What do you think, Mac and Bonnie? Did you have a bite yet?
I ate all of it.
Like, yes, I know. We ate the candy first, of course.
Well, take that one back, the other's out of the way.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll trade it in.
A little strupak here. Oh, Cecil makes a good cup of tea. So anyway, folks, that's it for today. Thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll have you here next Sunday, and next Sunday is going to be a dandy. We're going to have Jimmy Inch, and we're going to have Jason Price. They just insist on cooking with me. You've never heard those fellas. They sing amazingly well. Jason, wouldn't you know, Jason released his album. When did he release it? Yep, March of 2020. And you know what happened there? He didn't get to tour with it. So anyway, I'm so happy to have them, and they're good friends of Brennan's and some of the other kids, and so I'm looking forward to having them. So what are we making? Next Sunday, we are going to make herbed bread. And the spices that I'll be using in the herb bread will be basil, just crushed basil, and some oregano, and a little olive oil. Those are the three ingredients into the regular bread. And of course, as you know, I like the active dry yeast. That's what I'll be using, but you can use whatever you want. And so it will be a fun afternoon with those two fellas. I guess they have a blog that they do, and actually I'll post that last blog because in it they do talk about tunes and wooden spoons. And Jason Price, I know, has made, I know, the butterscotch pie for sure. Imagine a young man like that making pie. Well, I'm pretty proud of that, and he followed the recipe and he did that. So that's going to be fun. So that's it for this week. Thank you again for tuning in, as always, on Sunday afternoon. And I'm going to get those fellas to rip a reel off there, and we'll say goodbye. And just know that I want you to love yourself, love everyone, and I love you. Bye-bye.